everyone, welcome to Have You Heard? And it's Yes Friday today. And today, as you can see on the thumbnail, we are saying hello to the Yes album again. Really, you say? Haven't you done everything? Well, we haven't done the runt of the litter. Now, I hope you don't take offence to that, because I really don't mean it. But if there's a song that has been overlooked compared to every other song on the album, this might just be the song of songs. It's a venture, and it really is not spoken about. Really, is it? I mean, you've got Yours Is No Disgrace and Starship Trooper, and you've got I've Seen All Good People, and you've got Perpetual Change, and you've even got Steve's Barnstorming Clap. But nobody talks about a venture. Now, on YouTube, there are about 6 or 7 reactions, nice reactions to a venture. Now, of course, by Yes standards, that's really tiny and minuscule. But I was listening to it again last night, the song. It's a really lovely song, and it's a shame that it just has to rub shoulders with these behemoths of songs that form the rest of the album. But you kind of just things are getting going, aren't they, at the end of the song? And you can just hear Steve Howe coming in with a little guitar solo after Tony. Well, I'm reviewing the song before we've even listened to it, so apologies for that. But there's something going on, and then it gets faded out. So I was reading all my research, and I read that it had been faded out and Steve had done a solo. And then I read, I didn't know this, that there had been an extended version on one of the later remixes. So I found it on Spotify, and we're going to listen to that. So it's an extra 90 seconds or so of a venture. No one has done this on YouTube before, so we are championing an underdog, and the underdog's right to stretch out a little. There we go. See, all this justification. Yeah, I mean, it's about time we did a venture. And, the Yes album was so instrumental in changing the course of Yes history. We need to talk about this song. It has its own place. And I think we'll do that. We'll play it first of all. It's the extended version. It goes on for about 4:45, something like that. So about 90 seconds longer than the original. And it's quite fascinating. So let's listen to it first of all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all those wonderful things. And don't forget our Patreon channel and also our Buy Me a Coffee, where you can request songs very inexpensively. You can request songs to share with our community. So don't forget that, and consider that if you will. This is a venture from the Yes album. We all know when it came out. We all know what it did. Let's listen to the song.
Once a peaceful man laid his old head down by a river, thought about his childhood life, a father, a forgiver who couldn't hide away, hide away. He controlled the horses with a hand clap or a whisper, drinking
Well, there we go. What do you think of that? I'm sure some of you have heard it. It's on Spotify. It's there for everybody to see if you've got Spotify. Um, some people don't look into the second and third CDs of a particular reissue, of course. Um, it's just the second time I've heard it, and uh, I always subscribe with the feeling that if something's not on the original album, there's a reason why it's not on the original album. Generally, mistakes aren't made. Generally, the best stuff is there, and alternatives or extendeds or whatever are there just out of interest, really, just to take a little listen and hear what happened in the studio and what the guys were thinking about. And that's where how I'm feeling, I think, with this. Um, I can understand when they faded out the song for the original release. I really can. And to hear another 90 odd seconds of what basically becomes a free form jazz rock jam, doesn't it, really? Is it's really interesting. Um, Whether I would want to hear that every time I put the S album on the turntable, um, maybe not. But it's fascinating just to go back to those times and hear how these guys in their younger days were playing, and what they were doing with kind of the shackles taken away. Uh, Tony is brilliant on this track, full stop. The piano entry into the song is glittering and glistening and absolutely unlike anything else on the album. Then we get into the song, wholly solely written by John. Um, I read a review saying it was a non sequitur of a song. Now, that's not a phrase used very often, and I had to look it up just to make absolutely certain I understood. And I did get it right, but I wasn't sure. It's kind of like a phrase where something is said that doesn't relate to what to the previous thing that was said, or an argument or whatever. Um, like saying the grass is green, therefore you can travel easily by car. I mean, that's a non sequitur. It's got nothing to do with the other. And his lyrics are a little bit like that in this particular song. Um, he controlled the horses with a hand clap or a whisper. Um, He liked to drink, but he was no sinner. It tends to pull in different directions. And of course, people have had a go at trying to translate that, the meaning of John's song. Some people say it's a warning about the dangers of alcohol. Some are saying, no, it's not really that. It's showing that somebody can enjoy alcohol but not be a sinner. Take it, whichever way you prefer. But it's an interesting lyric. And the playing, particularly of Bill and Chris, is wonderful. They are on fire. And as it extends into that jam for the last 90 seconds of the extended version, Bill Bruford's having an absolute ball. Chris is doing his bass sounds that only Chris can really do. Steve kind of flirts in and out, doesn't he? The solo that you start to hear when the original fades out doesn't really amount to too much, and it kind of fades away again. And he's sort of coming in and out with little jabs. Um, but it's really the piano, bass, and drums that are doing the bulk of the heavy lifting. Really interesting. It's a song that, I mean, it's an integral part of the Yes album. It's not a filler. I don't think it's a filler. Some people say that. I don't say that. I think it's a little bit of a palate cleanser between I've Seen All Good People and the thunderous finale of Perpetual Change. Um, yeah, there we go. Of course, all written and rehearsed at Langley Farm in Devon, which Steve Howe eventually bought. The album got to number 4 in the UK, number 40 in the States. I'm giving you all the basic facts here. Um, yeah, they never played this live. I wonder why. Um, they, well, the original band didn't, or let's say this version of the band. Way on in 2013, when the 2013 version of Yes decided to do a tour and play the whole of the Yes album, they worked out an arrangement on how to play Adventure live, and they did so. I haven't heard a recording of that, so I don't know what it sounds like. Has anybody heard that? I'm not too sure. Um, the story I always love about the Yes album, as a little aside, is that the new manager, Brian Lane, who had just taken over Yes after Roy Flynn had decided he wanted no more of Yes. I mean, that wasn't a very good decision, was it? This is the man who had um, he had a 5% royalty on everything that Yes were to do in the future. And of course, Yes did fight this in court, and eventually they got it overturned. But just imagine if he'd stayed on as manager of Yes. Maybe would he have made the correct business decisions that Brian Lane did? Who knows? Did Brian Lane make the best business decisions? I mean, that can be debated because of the upheaval in and turmoil in Yes throughout their career. Well, until Brian left. But of course, it was Roy Flynn who inspired Bill Bruford's 5% of Nothing title on his solo track on Fragile. Yeah, Brian Lane, the story I was going to tell you. Sorry. Brian Lane, when the Yes album came out, there was a postal strike in the UK. In the early 70s, everybody was striking. There was always a strike every week. But there was a postal strike. So all of the record stores who were contracted to send their sales records into the central place that did the charts. It wasn't the BBC at that time, I don't think. It was another company. Um, but nobody could send in their sales history for the week, so the charts couldn't be compiled. So as a stopgap, they decided to use Richard Branson's fledgling Virgin Records in Oxford Street as the one kind of gauge, because they could just go down the road and pick up all the information from the store. So for a week or two, that was the only way that they could work out a chart for those weeks. So Brian Lane heard about this, and obviously he knew what was happening. So he went and bought as many copies of the Yes album as he could from Richard Branson's store. It made the performance that much better. Obviously, it artificially enhanced the sales record, and so it appeared to be more successful than it really was. But it's funny how success breeds success. It's like on YouTube, people don't click on something with 50 views, but they'll click on something with 5,000 views, and it's the same with those records. Um, People, oh gosh, this is selling well. I'd better buy it. So it did the world of good in the early first few weeks of the Yes album's life. and the rest is history. Well, there we are. I see I've made one little note at the bottom here while I was listening to the song, and that was the note says Badger, and of course that was the band that Tony Kaye formed after he left after the Yes album, and I had it. I had a copy. It's a live album, of course, of them supporting Yes on their following tour. The Fragile Tour, was it? I think it was. And it's a brilliant album. And you open it up, it's got a lovely Roger Dean artwork of a badger in the snow, and you open it all up, and there's a pop up badger. And for some reason, I sold it. I have no recollection why. I must have been stupid. Um, the album was okay. It was fine. It wasn't the world's greatest album, but it was fine, and it was a great thing to have in my collection. Um, anyway, I found it on Spotify a couple of weeks ago, and I've been playing bits of it over the last couple of weeks, particularly a song called "The River," and it's a the band was it was a hard rock band, nothing particularly proggy, not too proggy, certainly nothing where no kind of avenues that Yes would follow in the future really. But it was the songs were good, and to record a live album as your first album, I think, is quite brave. And The River is great. I just love Tony Kaye's keyboard lines on The River. Um, it's super. So if you haven't heard that, it's well worth a listen. Anyway, that's me done with Yes for today. It was fun doing something slightly different. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, please like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We, of course, have loads and loads of Yes songs on a dedicated playlist linked to the video. So